a 10-minute break. We are again here for our next session, and that is based on completely practical. And here we will see that how we can use this artificial neural network by using Python programming language. Before starting with the Python programming language, I would like to tell you some few things about the programming language. We have a number of programming language that usually we are teaching to our students, or we can see like our children are learning in their school level, or they are learning Fortran, then MATLAB is one of the popular programming language in among all faculties and research scholars. Then we have Java, HTML, and many other language that what we use in computer. But here I would prefer that you should use a Python programming language. One of the main thing that why I'm forcing or why I'm telling you this to use such language, programming language, one of is that this is an open source programming language. For this, you don't need to buy any license to install this software in your computer. Secondly, this language, programming language, is also available. 5 minutes પછી. I'm sorry for interruption. Also, this programming language, Python programming language, is available on your Google platform also without any cost. You just need to have a good speed of internet, so you can also use that web link on your laptop as well as on your tablet or on your smartphone also. So that's why I prefer to use this Python programming language. And secondly, this is one of the easiest language to learn and to interact with the computer. There is no much rules and regulation to form the statements or to call out the values or to call out the any segment of the programming tool. So that's why I recommend to learn Python, and we have lots of courses. Also, you can go to the NPTEL, which is a national level course, and from there also you can learn and you can get a Python certificate, course certificate. Moreover, you can learn deep learning also by joining that course from the NPTEL, and you can earn that certificate after giving the final examination, and that will also enhance your biodata and your individual skill in the field of this machine learning and artificial intelligence. So let's begin with our second session, and that is a practical session. So I'm sharing you that screen. Okay. I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So let's begin with this, our next session, practical session, a neural network basic using by Python. So before starting with our neural network, first of all, let's see this what kind of Python links we have. Python has a different version. Original link for Python is already I have shared here. And oh yes, I guess sir has already shared one Excel file and one Python file in your group. So you can access that during this hands-on session. And I would request that do not try to copy paste in your computer. Just try to understand and try to write it by your hand, so that you will understand that what kind of coding is and what you need to require. Okay. And also I would say that try to do such mistakes while you are typing your coding, so that you will come to know that what kind of error will occur, and you will more go into the depth of the coding. Okay, here I have one sample example of a neural network from scratch, just for your knowledge. I'm not forcing to go with the scratch programming language, because I don't think so that everyone is aware of write down the codes. Okay, so we'll go with the basic coding language only. So this is the first link, that is a python.org. If you click on this link, you will have this website. From this website, you can download your Python software. Okay, you can install, and you can download, and you can install that software in your computer. This is the first link. It is a for original Python. Now we have the second. Let me show you that also how it will look. Spider. Okay, fine. Next, then we have one more other formation or other platform to run Python programming language, that is a Anaconda. From
Sorry, ma'am.
Anaconda,
Sorry,
yes,
ma'am. To interrupt, one
yes,
question is asked in WhatsApp group: how to open this file? So one Python file is there in our WhatsApp
and one
group.
more file is there. I have shared two files, one Python and one IYP and file. I'll
Okay,
tell
so
you
how
how to
to
open
open?
it. Just
Okay,
just give me
okay,
a second. Let
okay,
me give
okay,
you the
okay,
brief idea about that how you can download
okay,
and how you can install it. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yes. Thank you. So this is a second link, Anaconda. This is a second platform to download the Python. I will show you that how it will look when you download it in your system. And from here, you can download. You can explore this page, and somewhere you will get the download of that Python. Ready to go started, and wait. Okay, so from here you can download your Spider also. Just in within a few seconds, my Spider will be started, and I will show you that how it will look after downloading Anaconda, and it will give you this kind of. Let me show you where it is. This kind of symbol of a spider. Okay, this is a symbol. I have both version in my desktop, like Python. So this is the spider from Anaconda, that what I have downloaded into my system. And this is the Python, a main original source of Python. Okay. So you can download it either Python or either Spider. Spider is just a second environment to start your coding. It will take a few seconds because it's a quite heavy software. So it will take time. So don't panic if it doesn't start immediately, because MATLAB, Spider, or Python such software has a heavy loaded file. So it will take a few minutes. Okay. So this is second link. So you can download it from Anaconda only. And the last and this is the collab link, that what I have already shown you, that how you have to start with your collab. Now I have given you two files. One is .py, okay, and second file name is IYPN. Okay, let me show you. IPYNB. This both file have a different extension of a Python. .py file you can use in your Spider or in your Python environment. Okay, and currently right now we are using this online platform, that is a Google Colab platform. So on that time, we have to use this IPYNB एक्सटेंशन वाला जो भी आपके पास फाइल अभी सर ने आपको दिया है, दैट व्हाट वी हैव टू यूज on this online platform. Okay, because this file will only support on this online platform. Now how to use this file? So let me tell you. Go to the file section, open notebook, and there you will have your list of files. If you want to upload it from your this desktop, so just go to the upload and browse it, and on which location you have installed it, just click on that file. Okay, and hit the enter, and it will open. Okay, so this is how you can open it. I'm just a second. Okay, so this is the way how you can upload your file here. I hope now. So now starting with this Python, before starting with the Python, you have to install some basic libraries in your code, so that that library will help you to write down the mathematical things and mathematical expression, and it will give you the output accordingly. So basic files what you need is numpy, matplotlib, and pandas. These three files are basic files. I'll show you that why it is important. uh, Before starting with the practical approach, here I have taken a very small example, that is a XOR gate. If those faculties or students are mathematical background, so they know that XOR is not, we cannot classify, like we cannot separate 0 and 1 by a simple line. What does it mean? That when we are trying to categorize, or when we are trying to identify number of output, okay, so on that time we have number of hyperplanes, and that hyperplanes divide two classes into the two different plane. So in this case, if I'm talking about XOR, so we have XOR problem that what is that we cannot separate that data points by meaning of one single separate line. For example, let me show you in this way. See, here, this is the graph before
Ma'am,
classification, right?
sorry to
Here
interrupt
we,
you.
yes,
Ma'am, please check some questions are available in the chat box
yes,
regarding
just give me
the
a second.
presentation. Yeah, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Hmm. Okay, it will not open in VS Code. In VS Code, you have to write it down. Second, which kind of link you want, Dr. Verma, Neetu Verma? Link of what?
Sharing the link from how we will be able to open the files, because I have downloaded the Python program, but
Okay.
my screen is not like yours.
Okay. Which platform you are using it? Python program
It's
or
Python.
Google Colab?
It's Python.
It's Python. Okay, I will show you that how to open it. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Then next is when tell me where you are sharing the files. Okay, that I'll do. VS Code. It will open. Supriti madam, it will open. Just try how you are trying to open that file. Can you please share your screen so that I can understand what kind of problem you are facing it when you are trying to open that file?
Ma'am, actually, this is in mobile. Actually, where we are working in laptop. Actually, from mobile to laptop.
Okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. If see, before started the session, I already told you everyone that if you're doing this on your mobile, then few files will not support with this mobile. You can you can make new files, you can run it, but it will be little bit tricky to upload it from your mobile. So if you have any desktop nearby or any laptop, then just use it.
I'm working in desktop, but for mobile to desktop, Google for Google Drive we need, right? If the file is not opening, so I can share this in desktop also in mobile.
Okay, no problem. You can share it. No problem. Okay, anything else? Should I share it again that how to open this file if you are doing with me? अगर आप मेरे साथ simultaneously अगर आप practical अभी कर रहे हो try if you are trying to open it with me only, so then I'll do it again for you if you wish.
Yes, ma'am. Kindly repeat, please.
Okay, fine. So I hope that everyone has that two file, right? One file is for Google Colab and one file is for Python. Okay. So just go to your Google and write it down. Google Colab and just try to log in. Okay. So आपने have you log in into your account? Can you please answer me so that I can understand?
Yes, ma'am, we are trying to log in for
Okay.
we are
Yeah,
firstly signing in.
no, no problem. Just once you log in into your account, tell me, then we'll go with the next procedure.
Sure. Yes, ma'am, I have joined it.
Okay, what about others? Just raise your hand or just drop one message in message box so that I can go with that. Okay, done. Okay, good. Okay, so shall I go ahead now? I guess everyone has done it. Okay, good. So after that, just go to the upload tab and click on browse button and just go on that file where you have saved it. Okay, this one, sorry. And just select it and open it. And tell me that if you are able to do it or not.
Excuse me, ma'am, we have to go in the collab after signing in.
Yes.
Then what to do next?
Then you have a new notebook tab on the left hand side if it is visible.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not getting it. Could
Okay.
I please share my screen?
Sure, sure. Let me stop sharing my screen. Then you share your. Okay, please share your screen.
Is it visible now?
Not yet. Okay, now it is visible. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just go to the file. Click
Yeah.
on a file button.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Not
It will take time, I guess. Just click it. Mm, wait.
not
Why? Why is it? Mhm. Just a second. Table. Just why so? You're not getting anything after clicking.
no, nothing else.
Oh my god.
So just I have put the Google Colab and this site is visible.
Please just go back once
Okay.
because here I am doing it, but I can.
Should I close this?
What about other people? Are you just log out and
Okay,
rejoin?
let me close the screen,
Yes.
right? And now let me open Google.
Okay, good. Working for me. That's very good. Veera, Pranav, Suprati ji, Rahul ji. Okay, good, good.
Now go to recent.
Okay, just share your screen also so that I can understand that what problem you are facing it.
If I am going to file, I'm not able to open it.
Oh.
I don't understand what's the problem.
Okay, do you have a Python? Do you
Yeah,
have Python? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
I
just
I have just downloaded it just right now.
okay. So for that, after that, you have to install it and you have to give it the permission to access it. So it will take, I guess, more 2 to 3 minutes. And after that, you open that .py file in your Python. Okay.
Which file?
I guess sir has shared you two file. One is for Google Colab and second .py py
Which
file.
which platform sir has shared the file?
I'm not able to hear you,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Ma'am, on
In
which?
ma'am, WhatsApp
WhatsApp,
group.
in WhatsApp group.
Okay. Sorry, sir, I didn't get any file in my WhatsApp group.
Social
Maybe
sir,
I
can
have.
you please share it again?
So could you please share? Actually, I don't know whether I am in that group or not. Yesterday, I have clicked on the option,
Okay, but might be
but I
possible.
am not on. I think so. I think so because
Ah,
I didn't get any info.
okay, okay. Just a second. Kaushal sir. Sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Sir,
I
this,
pin out in WhatsApp group.
okay. Sir,
Please
can
check, ma'am. Neetu,
sir,
ma'am,
just
please
a
check.
second. Just check that ma'am is in that group or not. The
Okay, okay.
principal.
One second.
Yes.
I'm checking.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm sharing one more thing to everyone. Uh, Neetu ma'am, can you please unshare your file so that I
Sure,
can
sure.
go? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your patience.
Oh, no, no worries, ma'am. It's my duty. Thank you. So let me go with the second part. Those who have a Spider or Python, here I'm using a Spider environment. So just simple, what I need to do is click on open, and in that case, I will download my file. Okay. See, here I have a .py file. I will click on that file and will click on open button. And then see, here I have my whole file. So this will same will appear in your Python environment also. This is a Spider environment from Anaconda. And if you are working with the original Python environment, then also you have to go with the same procedure. I guess one of participant has asked me just before that how to open it in Python. So I guess he or she got the answer, right? Okay. And moreover, if you are using this environment, then let me tell you that how to use it. This is a button for if you want to create a new file. So here you have a new Python file and you can start your programming from here. This is open button. This is save and save all file. And if you want to run your particular file, so you have this green button. Okay. And this is the current cell. If you want to run your current cell, particular line or particular cell or particular block, if you want to run it, then you can use these buttons. Okay. So these are the main basic buttons that what currently we have to use it. Okay. If I have some simple program, then let me check it for you. Okay, fine. See, this is just a simple file that what I want to show you that how it will work. This is the program of my code. From that, what I have did is I have extract my all weights. That is what I have used in my problem by using a neural network. I have extract all my weights from the each layer and I try to plot it in a 3D plot. Okay, by using this particular toolkit. That toolkit is for when you want to plot in three-dimensional space. Okay, can you please unmute if someone has mute yourself if someone has unmute, please. I'm getting little. So here, if I click on a run button, it will start it running and it will give you the output. And that is what my graph is in 3D dimensional. See, this is what I have done. Weight is connected to the each, sorry, input node with corresponding features. So this is one just a simple sample example that how it will look and how you can run it. Okay. This is the second one.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was trying to work in Spider, and
Okay.
I have opened the program that you have shared in the WhatsApp. So when I try to learn learn the program, it's written here saying that SK learn some
So
I think
module is not yet in your that
SK Learn module is not found.
yes, because your system has currently not that mod. Your system has not that module. So what we
So
have,
how do
we
we
have to
download?
install it. Yes, I will tell you everything. This is just a basic thing that what I want to tell you is that how to open it.
And one more, this thing is there. Like figures are not displayed right now. It's writing mute inline plotting. So how do I do this to see the plots?
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat your question?
It is written figures are displayed in the plots pane by default. To
Hmm.
make them also appear in line in the console, you need to uncheck
Okay,
mute
ma'am.
inline.
That you're using my file, right? Currently. So just to
I just opened the file.
that what I'm telling you, ma'am.
Huh,
I'm telling you that just
huh,
wait for a practical session. Don't try to run everything because
okay.
some modules you don't have right now. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
that's why I request everyone if you can come on an online platform that is a Google platform. On that platform, we don't need to install everything. By default,
Okay,
it is installed by the Google itself. Okay,
okay,
and when
okay.
you're using particular software in your computer, that means
Huh,
before using that, we have to call it, we have to install it in our system, and then after we can use it. And I will tell you that how to install such a libraries in your system. Yeah.
okay. So now, ma'am, if I go back to Colab, then I have to go to file and open, and then I have to call the file name there, no?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. There
Okay,
you don't need to install anything because already it is pre-installed as
okay.
we are doing on a online platform. So
Yes,
this
yes.
is the one of the benefit that on in online platform we don't need to install every module or every library. Yes, and
Okay,
also one drawback is that we need always good speed of internet.
okay, okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Yes. So I guess now I should begin with the next thing. So let me share my file again from here. Okay. So this was what I was talking about, how you can download Python software in your desktop and how you can use Google Colab. Particularly, personally, I believe to use this online platform, because on that time we don't need to download each and every module or library. It might be possible that one or two module or libraries are not even available in your online system. So on that time only we have to download it and install it. Otherwise it is easy, we don't need to download it. And if you're going with the particular software, offline software like Spider, Anaconda, Jupyter, so yes, you have to download it. And how to download it and how to install it, that also I will tell you meanwhile the session. So this is the first simple XOR classification from scratch. From scratch, that means you have to write each and every mathematical thing into the form of computer language, and this is the way that what we are doing. This is the sigmoid, that what activation function we are using, okay, at the end of the output layer. And these are the my inputs and these are the my outputs. I hope it is visible for everyone. So yes, now starting with the import numpy as np. Now what is numpy and why we are using this library? Numpy is a numerical Python library that we need when we are doing a mathematical operations. That's why we need numpy library in our system. Then only we can use any algorithms without or any methodology or any operations. For example, if you want to write down this in the form of array, that means like in layman language, if I say, if I want to 42, okay, 42, that means a single integer, that means a zero dimension. So for computer it is a array. If I go for the one dimensional, that means 1, 2. So for computer it is 0 and 1. So this is what an array is, okay. So that's why for all kind of such operations and input, we need such basic library. That's why we call it as a np. Instead of np you can write any other variable, और जो भी नाम से आप उसको कॉल करना चाहते हो, that name you could write here. Simultaneously, you have to always remember that whatever name you are using to call that particular library, only that name you have to use throughout your coding language. Okay, so this is what np I have used every time. Every time I cannot write like numpy or matplotlib.pyplot. I cannot write the whole long name every time. So that's why what I'm doing is I'm calling it as a small name. Just like if someone has like XYZ name and our grandparents are calling by us your nickname, just kind of that. It has a one kind of nickname in layman language, that is a NP. And second is matplotlib. Now this library is particularly used for plotting. Plotting of what? Only 2D plotting. It will not use for 3D plotting. And nowadays we have advanced plotting library also. You can Google it and you can search it. Search it like Seaborn library is also there, and any other library are also there. So you can use those library also. In beginning, I'm using this library for everyone so that it will be easy. Okay. So yes, so here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to classify XOR, okay, XOR in two dimensional so that we can separate zeros and one. What does it mean, 0 and 1 output? Right now I'm talking about output. So here I'm trying to separate this 0 and 1 on a one side, like 0 should be on a left hand side and 1 should be on a right hand side. So this is what we call as a classification. Okay, so for that this is a very scratch programming that what I have did here. Many of you won't understand this because it is quite tedious and tough to understand at the beginning when you are trying to learn such Python and neural network. So just I'm giving you the glimpse of that. Here what I have did is that I have give some random weight vectors weight vectors to my system, and it will run accordingly. And I have decided that how kind of input layer I have and how kind of hidden layer I have and output layer. In this particular case, my shape. Acha, before going into this, I would tell you first thing is that when we talk about a first point, okay, let me just a second. Mm, okay, so this is the data set that what we are going to deal with today's practical session. Okay, I will not explain this right now. I just want to tell you is that for us the first row, okay, this first column, first row stands at a one position, position number one. We call it as a number one, number two, number three, right? But for computer, it start with the zero. This is the zero index. This is the one index. This is the third, and so on. So always remember that when you are going coding for the computer, then always be careful to give the location of your Excel file. When you are trying to read those data from your Excel file, you have to be very careful when you to count the number of rows and number of columns. Okay. So yes. So in our case, what we have did is, this is my input layer. Input layer, I have a 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, this is what my input layer is. Then hidden layer, in hidden layer I have take one single hidden layer. In that hidden layer I have two nodes. Now what does it mean? Let me tell you. Just let's go back to here. Okay, see now what does it mean 0, 0, 1, 1? Mhm. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 1, that means you have a number of patterns. Okay, number of patterns, that means what? You have a four number of patterns. One is 0, 0, second is 0, 1, third is 1, 0, and fourth one is 1, 1. So we will start with our first pattern. That first pattern is 0, 0. Okay, so let us say this in this form. For example, this is my inputs. Okay, in inputs, so let's say as a serial number, my inputs and my outputs. Okay, so this is my first pattern. I have four pattern, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Corresponding, I have out inputs. Let us say 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, and corresponding we have output. Output is what? 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, 0, 1, 1, 0. I hope everyone knows that what is a XOR gate. XOR gate, that means if you have a 0, 0, then it will fire for 0. It has an output of 0. If you have a 0, 1, so it will give you the 1 output, and so on. So this is what I have. Now Samples, that means number of, for example, samples, that mean number of patient or number of people or number of data what you have. So in our case we have a 4 samples. Okay. Features, that means number of inputs we have. Okay, for example, what are the features of a human being? So we call it as a, it has a 2 eyes, 1 nose, lips, 2 ears, 2 legs, 2 hands. And what are the features of animals? So it has a 4 legs and so on, so 1 tail, right? So this is called as a inputs or features. I hope it is clear. And this is what my output. Now what I want to do is this, we cannot separate it by a single line. As I shown you in this graph, here you can see that it is a, see, can you separate this by a single line? No, this is not a separable case. So to separate this data, what we are doing is we are mapping this data into the higher dimensional space where it can classify it into the 2 portion by mean of optimal separating line. Okay, so for that here we have did the coding. This is a scratch coding. Okay, and here hidden layer. Okay, now let's understand with the figure. So first of all, what I'm doing is I'm inputting my first pattern. Okay, first pattern is 0 0, so my input will be 0 and 0, and then I will decide my number of hidden layers and hidden layer. As this is a very simple example, we don't have a much number of samples, so we will just take a single hidden layer, that means h1, and 2 or 3 hidden nodes. Nodes means number of 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, and then output, if it is a binary output, then you have only one node here, either 1 or 0, yes or no. And then we will start our calculation, just like x1 w1, here it will be the answer, plus x2 w2, here it will have answer. And then again, this is my h1, so yes, h1 w1 to output and h2 w2 to output. The simple calculation of ANN for XOR. Similarly, you can extend it up to your problem accordingly. Okay, and after that, what I have done is I have decided my weights and bias accordingly, but random weights and random bias. Okay, and then I have started my forward propagation and backward propagation. I know this is quite tough for you to understand that what procedure is going on, because this is completely mathematics, and currently i'm not I'm not able to make you understand the whole mathematics behind this code. Okay, so just uh, आप जो मॉड्यूल और जो इनबिल्ट कमांड यूज कर रहे हो उसके बैकअप में जो चीजें डेवलप की गई है, ठीक है, वो सारी चीजें यही है. Here what we are doing is we are writing it by own code. We are not using any inbuilt command or libraries or anything. And on other side, there what we are doing, we are just using that library directly to our data set and we are predicting it. This is the difference between inbuilt command and scratch programming. And then we have defined backward propagation here. And after that, we are we are trying to get our output, and this is what we get at the end. Okay, so this is a scratch programming that what we are not going into this deep. So starting with this by using sklearn. So let's start with here. Now see sklearn. Okay, so this is the open source machine learning library that what you can get it from Google. Scikit-learn, we call it as a short as a sklearn kit. Okay, so this is a huge toolbox for machine learning application. Here you can get ample of algorithms. You don't need to write down the scratch programming. You can directly use all those algorithms. See, you have a different section, like if you are going for the classification, so you have such numbers of algorithms. If you are going for the regression problem, that means a predicting a continue value attribute problem, then you have these algorithms. For clustering also you have algorithms, and like dimension reduction, model selection, pre-processing, and many more things, right? So this is, sorry, so this is what you have here. So you can explore the SciKit toolbox uh, in Google, and even SK Learn. You can write it like this: ANN using SK Learn. Okay, so you will have this first link, and this link will explain you everything regarding ANN. See, this is a supervised model, and you can explore this. Okay, this is quite easy for you to understand, and it will be with the example also. Fine, and let's go to this here. See, so this is the main page of neural network models in scikit-learn, and you will have number of practical examples also. They have chosen this data set. They are using this solver. I will explain you what is solver and everything. Okay, and you have to just write down your code in this form only, and you have to run it. That's it. Okay, so here, let's start it. So important necessary library that you have to import in your system. Now, if you are using offline platform, then you have to install it NumPy, Matplotlib, okay, and Pandas. How? See, just write it down how to install uh, NumPy in Python. Okay, so just you have to go with the installation, or let me show you here also. Code pip install uh, NumPy. Okay, and hit the enter and run it. So in Google Colab, you can check this like this way. And if you're going for the Python, then what you have to do is you have to go for the spider uh, command prompt. Okay, so you have to go for in the command prompt. Command prompt is for those who are using Python, and in command prompt you just have to write down pip install. And if you are using this spider, so you have to write it down in the anaconda command prompt, and that file will be installed in your PC. Okay, but currently just try to do it on a Google Colab, so it will be easy for you. And see, it is already installed, so I have this message. Okay, requirement already satisfied because it is already installed in here Google Colab. Okay, so this way you can install it, or if you don't understand how to install, you can Google it. Fine. Next. Okay, so now import NumPy as NP. Now this is one of the important library to perform any uh, numerical operations in the Python. Okay, so that's why we are importing this NumPy library in our coding. Next, matplotlib pyplot is helpful in plotting the graphs, different kind of graphs, whatever kind of graph you want, it will help you in that. Next, sklearn neural network. See, this is a toolbox. Okay, so from this toolbox, what we are doing is we are calling MLP classifier. Okay, so from this toolbox, we are calling this classifier. That means this what I can say is this library. Okay, I have a toolbox of sklearn. From that, I'm calling MLP classifier. If you are working with k-nearest clustering or support vector machine or support vector regressor, so you have to write it accordingly that. So here instead of that, you will write those name like SVM, KNN, and so and so. Now, next, as we have seen to perform confusion matrix. So here we don't need to write down all the codes to find out the accuracy, to find out the confusion matrix. Simple here we have is accuracy score, that what we have to call it from sklearn.matrix. ठीक है, आपको कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स यहाँ पे खुद क्रिएट नहीं करना है. एसकेलन में आप डायरेक्ट कंफ्यूजन मैट्रिक्स बिना फाइंड किए भी एक्यूरेसी फाइंड कर सकते हो. ठीक है, इवन दो इफ यू वांट टू make a confusion matrix, then in a next example I will show you that how to make that confusion matrix. So this is the basic libraries that what we need to perform our model. Okay, now starting with the next step is preparing the data. Preparing the data, that means we have to divide the data into input and output. So this is the input that what we have, and this is the output that what we want from the system. So this is the first case. Here I'm not applying any kind of cleaning process or dimension reduction process or any pre-process. I'm just simply taking my raw data as it is, right? After that, what I'm doing, I'm initializing that data into my MLP model. Now, instead of writing scratch coding language, what we can do is we can use directly MLP classifier. So this is the way that how we can do it. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. So where I was, yes. So here I'm not preparing anything for my data. I'm just taking a simple raw data and applying this model. Okay. Instead of going this all scratch programming, we are going with the inbuilt command, that is a MLP classifier. Now let's explore it, that what is MLP classifier. In the terms of sklearn, this is a neural network and we can explore it from this website itself. So see here we only have to mention our hidden layer size, that how many hidden layer we want, what kind of activation function we want, what kind of solver, that means optimization technique, like we have a gradient descent algorithm, Adam algorithm, and many more. Alpha, that means a learning rate, on what kind of speed it should be learned. Okay, then batch size, what kind of batch size you want, like auto batch size. So then this classifier will take by default auto size, and if you want particular batch size, so you can mention it. Learning rate, which will accelerate your network. Okay, and these are other tools that what these are other things that what we are using in our ANN classifier. Okay, parameters, and you can have a detail of parameter over here, That's C. Hidden layer, that is the representation of how much number of neuron and layer we want in the hidden layer. Activation function, we have inbuilt four activation function: identity, logistic, tannage, and relu, right? Then solver, that means, as I said, is a optimization algorithm, that is LBGF, stochastic gradient descent, and adam. Rather than this algorithm, if you want some other algorithm, so that for that you have to write down a scratch programming for that, and after that you can call it that particular algorithm. And then this is a alpha is a strength of a regularization term. This is also one part of neural network, which is advance of that, so I'm not going into this in detail. This is the batch size. Batch size is what, how many samples you want in a one batch. Okay, if I divide my 100 sample into 3 batch or 4 batch, it will take according to 25, 25, 25, 25, and according to that my network will be run. Learning rate is used to update schedule for updating the weights, and it is a constant learning rate. Okay, and according to that you have a number of parameters that you can explore it. So these are whole the parameters and attributes. These attributes, you can use it to print out the statements, like how I'll show you, or even here it has some examples. Okay, see, like one of attribute what we have is, let us say, predict. So here you can see that if I write dot score, so it will give me the score. Score, that means what? Accuracy. Predict. Predict, that means whatever data I have fed into the testing, it will give you the output of that test data. So if I want to find out the what data are in my testing session, so it will give me the output of those testing sample data, and so on. So you can explore all such these attributes in your coding language, and you have a sample examples also. Here we are using fit.xy. Fit.xy, that means your model will fit for particular MLP classifier by using matrix. Matrix, that means nothing but the input and target variable, that means your output. Okay, and it will give you the output. So these are the parameters regarding that, and you can use it accordingly. So let's get back to the here. So here, this is a simple example that what I have taken is, here I have, okay, now first of all, this is MLP. This is a variable. Variable, that means I'm storing something in new variable. Here instead of MLP, you can write it anything, whatever you want to write. If you want to write ABC, so you can write ABC and store your whole MLP classifier into the this model. But make sure whatever model you are, whatever variable name you are choosing, that you have to keep uniform throughout the coding. Okay. Next. So here what I have did is I have mentioned here at 4 comma 2. 4 comma 2, that means 4 neuron and 2 layer. Okay, so this is the size of hidden layer, 4 comma 2. 4 neuron, 2 layers. That means I have 2 layers of hidden layer and 4 neurons in both hidden layers. Okay. Next, this is the activation function. You can use ReLU or any other sigmoid activation function also here. Maximum iteration. Maximum iteration, that means up to when you want to perform your task. If you will write down 100 iteration, it will go to the 100 iteration only. And random state, that means from here it will take random weight vectors for your problem. If you particular mention 15, so at the state of 15, whatever weights are defined by default in the MLP classifier, only that weights it will be considered, and it will always give you the constant answer. If you write here as a none, so every time it will go for the different number of weight vectors, and at the point where you get the maximum output and maximum accuracy, you can stop your network and you can extract those weights also. Okay, so this is very basic. And for prediction, what we are doing is, so here what is happening here, our model is ready to train. Okay, then next, what we are doing, we are predicting. Okay, so what we are predicting is MLP dot predict X. X means what? In X, whatever we have, the data. So it will go to here X, and it will call this X, and it will give the output. That is a 100% output. 100% output it calculated by using accuracy score command. This is an inbuilt command. Here it will by default calculate your error as well as your score. That means what? Your accuracy, original and predicted. Why is original accurate? Sorry, y is original output and y predict is calculated output by the system, and by that you have this accuracy. Okay, and then this is a visualization plotting the graph. You can get this code directly on the Google also, or you can go to the matplotlib library, and there you can have this sample examples regarding that. Okay, so let's start with the next. I request everyone that currently you just don't do anything. Try to understand the things that what we are doing. In the next second half session, last session, you try to perform yourself. Okay? And then ask me if you have any query. So let's begin with the practical example. So this is a practical example. I have taken this cancer data, and this cancer data is this. See, this is the cancer data. Okay, so I have number of, if you can count it, so I have number of 517 including my first row. So I have 569 number of patient. Okay, and these are the datas of all those patient what we have right now. And this first row is all about the features, that means input. Okay, so let's talk in the terminology of network, and this is my output diagnosis. 1 stands for cancer and 0 stands for non-cancer. So these are my data set. Okay, now let's understood it by this figure. So in input I have, see, if you see that from here to here, you have, just a second. See, so you have total number of 30 count. 30 count, that means you have a 30 number of features. Okay, so that means your input layer will have 30 number of nodes that are your features for your particular problem. I hope this is clear. Now, how it will work, this 30 number of nodes will have for 569 number of patient. That means first we will input the data of first patient. Okay. So if I have this like first patient, and these are the data of those first person. Okay. So I will input all this data here for the only first patient, right? And then it will go for the next procedure. Now these weights, we can find it in a two ways. Number one, you can use random weights, and number two, there are few methodology, few techniques like least square methods and many more methods are there to find out the weights between the input to hidden to output layer. So that methods also you can use, or you can use random weights by using trial and error method, and use and just optimize those weight where you get the maximum output and maximum accuracy. Extract those weights at the last of your training and testing. So this is the basic simple thing. Okay, so now starting with this, first of all, for this what we required is importing numpy library so that we can use all kind of operations. Okay, next, then we will import pandas as PD. Now here, why we are importing pandas? This is a very beautiful and very important module in Python. Pandas are basically used for data frames. Data frames, that means what? If you have any Word file or if you have any Excel file, so you have to just call that file by using pandas. Okay, you don't need to write down your whole data in terms of arrays, just like here what we have written. If you have 1,000 number of data, then you are not going to write down 1,000 times as an input. Okay, what you will do, either you have Excel file, okay, and if you are working on a text data, so that in that case you have a Word file. So on that time, what you will use is you will use Panda library, and this Panda library helpful to analyze data, to cleaning, exploring, and manipulating data, and you can use any column and any row in between your code. You don't need to write down specific no, I mean specific data into your code. You just need to call that number of row or number of column by using this Panda library. Matplotlib is used for obviously visualization. That means nothing but the plotting. Even you can use it for statistic, animation, or any kind of other visualization. Next model. Now, when you are using it inbuilt command, on that time you have to use train and test split model from sklearn. This will help you to divide your data into training and testing set. For example, currently we have 600 number of data, or near 517 number of data. So I will split this data into training and testing. Now we have a three kind of combination in training and testing: either 90-10%, 80-20%, 70-30%, or 60-40%. Mostly recommended training testing test is pair is 80-20 and 70-30%. What does it mean? 17% of data. For example, if we have this number of 517 number of samples, so out of that 70 or 80% of data will taken as a training data, and rest of the data will be taken for testing data. Okay. Next, then we will start our modeling by using this inbuilt library, that is MLP classifier, and then we will use this accuracy score for accuracy of our model, confusion matrix, and classification report. Now, starting with that, how to load your data. Okay, this is one of the important step while you are starting with your loading data. So first of all, you have to prepare your Excel file just like this. Okay, if you don't want this first row like header row, so you can remove it. Okay, and if you don't want to remove it, so then also you can work it on that. Just you have to be careful while you are counting or while you are calling the number of rows and number of columns. भी हो सकती है, or you have some other file also, that depends. Okay, so how to install and how to read that file in Python. Number one, if you are using this online platform, then just go to this file box, click this block. So this tab will be open. Okay. Then go to the upload. Click here and upload that file from your location. So I have store here. Your file is this. Okay, it will give you a warning that ensure that your file are saved elsewhere, or kuch waqt after some time your file will be disappear. Why this will be disappear? Because it will be here unless if you are not working on that file, or if you log out from your session, again you have to upload your file here when you are running with your code. Okay, so this is what file I have right now on my left hand side. Secondly, make sure that your name should be same as your file name. If you write any wrong name over here, your computer will not able to find out the location and your file in your system. So it is very important to write down a proper name. Secondly, those who are working with the Spider or Python, you have to save that file in the same location. What does it mean by same location? For example, you have saved your Python, your Python file in your downloads, right? Okay, here in downloads, I have this my .py file, right? So in the same location also, I should have my this file. Where is it? Yes. Let me copy and let me paste here. Okay, already I have that name. Okay, let's replace it, no worries. Okay, so this is what I have. Okay, so I have that file name. You can search it over here also, like data in the same location. It will take a little bit time because I have lots of file in my downloads. Okay, so I guess this is understandable that how you have to choose it or how you have to store it. If you are making one folder over here, for example, here you are making one folder, then just simple save this. Your Excel file is into this folder and your coding file also should be in the same folder. Otherwise, your program will not run. Okay. Next is data.head. Now this will data.head, this head command will help you to show the first few rows of your Excel sheet. Okay. So in my first 5 rows are this in my Excel sheet. Let me check here. See. Okay. These are my first rows. So it will give you output accordingly. Okay, fine. We have more other inbuilt command in pandas. You try to explore by yourself. Next, prepare data. Now prepare data, that means what we are doing here, we are doing input and output. We are preparing our data in the form of input and output. Now, here in input, what we are writing is as we are calling data.ilog. Ilog is a location, data is a name. Name of what? Your file. Let me show you this variable. Okay, in this variable, your Excel file is called by using panda command. So this variable I will use every time. Okay, so that's why here X is what your training. Let me write here. This is my training set and sorry, not training. I'm really sorry. This is my input set and this is my output set. Okay. Now, training, that means the first position is for row. Okay. Now, the second position is for column. What does it mean? That you in input, you want all rows. That means what? You want all these 569 number of rows in input. Okay. And from what to what column? From 1 to 33. So for computer, this is not 1. For us, this is a 1 position. But for computer, this is a 0 index. So for computer, 1 is this. So all rows from here to your last. But last is not your input. So from here to here, it will call. Okay, so this is your 1 to 33 number of column I want in my input with all number of rows. Am I clear? And this is my what? Output. Output is in the last column. So I will call it here as a all rows. Matlab, that means that I want all rows of output. Output means it is a last column also. So I have written here is a -1, or you can write it like a 34 number. Okay, because we have total number of row is 34. So you can write it like -1. So it will count from last to first, or if you want to count it from first to last, so you can directly write it as a number 34 here. So this is what I have prepared my data. Now here I'm not doing anything with my data, no pre-processing unit, no dimensional reduction process, no cleaning process, nothing. This is just a simple raw data. Okay, if I have any missing value, then I can delete it. And that what I have done. I have some 10 or 15 datas which are missing. So I have simply deleted it currently. After that, what I am doing is I am splitting this data into the training and testing. So this is inbuilt my format, that X train X test, matlab your input will be divided into two sections, training and testing, and similarly your output will be also dividing into the two sections, that is training and testing. Now how much number of test size we want? 0.2, that means 20% of testing size. So by default it will take 80% data in the training set. And random state, that means at the state of 42, whatever weights are there in your inbuilt command, it will call it that. If you write it here as a none, so it will randomly take different number of states and it will start it working accordingly. So here currently I have fixed my random state. Okay, so this is clear till here, how to split the data and how to call your input and output set. Instead of 20%, if I want 30% test size, so you can go accordingly that. Okay. Next, initialize model. Now here we will call our model by using all such data. Okay. What I'm doing is now I'm calling my MLP classifier and I'm storing that whole procedure into introducing by one variable. That variable name is MLP. MLP is a variable name where we are storing all our procedure by using MLP classifier inbuilt command. Here, what I have did is I have decided layer size. So I have two layers. Okay. In two hidden layers, I have taken 10 number of neurons. That means 1 and 2 layer, and each layer we have number of 10 neurons. In input, we have 30 number of features for the first patient. Hidden layer, 2 layers with 10 number of neurons, and output either 1 or 0. That means cancer or not cancer. Then again we will feed data of second number patient, 32, 30 features, and again it will start the procedure and so on. Then After feeding all data into this MLP classifier, now I am training my model for the training data set. Out of 600 data, 500 data I am taking in a training with input and output. So that's why I am using fit command. Fit command will fit your data into training and testing in MLP classifier. Okay, and this MLP means what? You are calling this classifier by using this variable name. Okay, and maximum number of iteration I have taken here as a 10,000. You can take 500, 200, and whatever iteration you want. After that, what I'm doing is, after here my model will be trained for 600 data set. I'm sorry, for 500 data set. And rest of the 100 data set will go to the testing data set. This is what the predict. Now in between, what is happening is, here my model is trained. Okay, everything is trained, output is also there. Even if I want to extract the output of my training data set, I can also extract that output in the same way. Okay, instead of this, I can write here as a train data. It will give me the output of train data also. Okay, so here my model is fixed. Now what I'm doing, I'm giving some unknown data set where my data set do not have any output. I'm just giving input to the system, to this system, MLP system. I'm not defining output now. Okay, so after that, what I'm doing is y underscore predict is equal to MLP dot predict x test. That means what? Now my code will be go to here. Here it will go to the test size 20. Okay, out of 600, it will take 20% of data into the test size without output, and it will go to the here, and it will start calculating. Now this MLP dot predict means what? Here your data is stored, training data is stored and trained. Now what we are doing is, we are checking whether our system is identifying it correctly for unknown data without any output. So that's why we are feeding those testing data into this classifier. Okay, now after that, I want to print and predict to check whether my model is working good or not. That means how much accuracy it is giving it to me. So this is what accuracy. Accuracy classification store that will give you the accuracy of your predicted model. And here what I'm doing is, I'm giving it y test. That means this y test is original output and y predict is a system output. Okay, so here by default it will calculate the number of data which are correctly classified and number of data which are not correctly classified, and after that I'm printing that accuracy. And here if you can see is 90%, sorry, 98.25% of data are classified accurately. That means only 2% of data set is not identifying correctly. Now how, which datas are not identified correctly, that also you can check it by using this different kind of attributes that what you have here. Okay, so you can use all such attributes to find out what kind of data are not predicted correctly. Even you can extract those datas also, and then you are evaluating model by using confusion matrix, and this is inbuilt command of a confusion matrix. Confusion matrix is always for classification problem. Secondly, for confusion matrix we need only two things, that is a original value and system, sorry, original output and system output, and on that base your confusion matrix would be prepared. Okay, and this is what your confusion matrix is. 70%, that means, sorry, 70 means 70% of data are correctly classified. Only one data only one data is misclassified. Okay. And this is the visualization of confusion matrix. See, when you have no cancer, 70% data set are classified correctly, but only 1% data set is not classified correctly. If you have cancer, then all data are predicted as correctly classified. Okay. Now, here, my system is completely prepared. This is a minor error that we can neglect it. Okay. If number of counts of negative approach, that means a wrong classification increases, then your model is not prepared. So again, you have to recheck your model. You have to update your weights up to the optimal condition by using various optimization technique, and you can reduce your error accordingly. Okay. And then you can prepare your model, and after this preparing of your model, now you can input some other data of cancer, and you can feed into your system, and your system will give you the output accordingly. Even there are many even you can improve your system up to 100% classification also. In my PhD, I have tried my best, and at the last, my model was 100% accurate for all, for breast cancer data set, and it gave me 100% classification accuracy. That means there were no error, zero misclassification, whether it is a cancer cell or it is a non-cancer cell. So you can also improve your model with different technologies, with different algorithms, and you have to find out the loopholes between that. Okay, so this is the one example of confusion matrix. Second example is handwritten digit recognition. And this example, I have solved it by using support vector machine. Already, this is support vector machine is a part of supervised learning algorithm. Okay. Here also we have a different kind of methodology, and this support vector machine is basically used for multi-label classification or binary classification, as well as it is used for regression also, like market prediction, house price prediction, or weather prediction. So this is a sample of that. Here you don't need to download dataset on your system. You can directly calling your dataset from online system. Okay, so you have to just use this load digits underscore, and it will directly call from this library, and you can use it in your coding language. Okay, this is just one sample example. If you want to perform, this is depends on the images. Okay, so we are not diving into the images right now, because images are something different, that what it is not easy to understand, because here we have to convert this image into the form of this kind of data set. Okay, so for that we have to learn some other algorithms so that we can use such images. Okay, and if you are talking about this, just a second, ANN. So in ANN directly you can use it just like this. Here is a min set data set. Again, here I have prepared my data set, and I'm calling all those data set here and making prediction. 96% of accuracy, I'm getting it. That means what happening here, I have min set data set is consisting of multi-label digit from 0 to 9. Okay, and these are the confusion matrix regarding that, and these are the misclassified data, 96%. Okay, here you can see all the detail of your 0 to 9 digit, and the diagonal matrix, whatever you are seeing over here is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9, which are the correctly classified data set. And rest of the data like upper diagonal and lower diagonal are the misclassified data set. So this is one of the example of handwritten digit of 0 to 9 by using machine learning and by using artificial neural network. And from here, our session is finished from my side at least. If you have now any query, please ask me.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
How MPL classifier works, ma'am? Can you please explain this
Sir,
MPL classifier?
yes, sir. MLP classifier works as I have mentioned in this presentation, right? See,
Mm.
this is the whole mathematics behind MLP classifier, and in that we don't need to write down the scratch programming. We just need to call the library. We will feed our data, and on a backhand, all the procedure will be done by the library. I mean, inbuilt command only. Here, what we are doing, see, previously in the beginning, I have shown that the front of the coding. जो कोडिंग आपका एमएलपी में ऑन अ बैक वे हो रहा है, जो वी आर नॉट एबल टू सी दैट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग beside the behind the MLP classifier. That what I have done over here on a front page. Okay, so it will work according to this. This is all the detailed coding of a MLP classifier, and you can use it according to your problem. This is particular
Okay.
for XOR data. See, I can go in detail, but this is it will take a huge time because it is completely depends on the mathematics as well as on the computer language also, and it need a great understanding of mathematics. If you really want to do in this from the scratch, so this is the scratch programming. That is what is happening behind the MLP. This is the difference between scratch programming and inbuilt command. It is just like you are working on a word. Okay, आप वर्ड में क्या करते हो कि वर्ड आप ओपन करते हो, टेबल बनाते वक्त आप सीधा एक टैब पे क्लिक कर को चूज करते हो, एंड यू आर मेकिंग योर टेबल्स. On other hand, in if you have used latex documentation, right, in your PhD thesis or in your
Yes.
masters, or your students are using latex documentation, in that what we are doing, we are writing the commands on a front hand. If you want to make a table, or if you want to write down the equation, so what we are doing, we are writing all the commands on a front hand, right? In Word, we don't need to write it down on a front hand. We are just using the toolbox from the section.
Yes.
This is what the same thing is happening over here also. On a front hand, that means a scratch programming. On a back hand, that means what we are using inbuilt command or any direct libraries. And these libraries are particularly for those people who are not coming from the mathematics background, but they want to use neural network or machine learning or AI in their fields because they are expertise in their field. They are not expertise of mathematics or computers. So they can use directly inbuilt this commands and libraries in their in their programming or in their modeling their whole things. If you want to understand in detail, I'll explain you later on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Yes. Anything else from other participants? I know this is quite tough for everyone to understand within a 1 hour. because it's a really lengthy process to understand neural network. Even though with using this, what I say is by using this Python programming language, it will take little bit time. You have, even after completion of this workshop, I would request you to explore such a Python program which or neural network program in detail. You can get it, so that you can do it personally on your PC, so you can understand it. And if you want any mathematically detailed explanation of particular examples or something, I have those examples, like how we calculate from one layer to another layer to third layer, and accordingly we are making our coding, and accordingly that whole procedure, all these libraries are made up in general for everyone.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just explain this confusion matrix to us again? How get this?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. Can you please repeat it?
Can you please explain the confusion matrix once again?
Confusion matrix. Sure, ma'am. Just give me a second. Okay. My screen is visible for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So this is, again, I am telling you, this is an example of confusion matrix. See, recently I have taken only binary classification or yes or no classification in the terms of 0 and 1. Okay. So when your system will identify correct classification, then that means if it is a cat, then you have output as a cat. Original output you have that it is a cat. But if your system will also give you the same output, that is called as a true positive output. That's why it is a TP. TP, that means if you have a cat, then output should be also cat. So that is what we have, four number of cases where we are getting correct output. But at the one case we are getting wrong output, that is what your system is giving you as a dog, which is a wrong classification. Okay. Similarly, in the case of dog, we have two number of data set which identify the wrong classification. That means instead of giving you the dog output, it is giving you the cat output. Okay. And rest of five samples are classified as correctly as a dog. So this is total total number of sample we have 12. Out of 12, three samples, this cross diagonal, these three samples are wrongly classified, and rest of the sample, 9 samples, are correctly classified. So this is a confusion matrix. Now when you are going towards a multi-label classification problem, on that time your confusion matrix will be created accordingly. Likewise, let me share you this one. See, in this case, we have, see, this is the first case where we have cancer is yes or cancer is no. Okay, so this is what confusion matrix is. Now, in the case of multi-label classification, that means this is called as a multi-label classification. What we want in output as a, I have 0 to 9 number I have 100 number of samples from the different person who has written 0 to 9 in different handwriting. Now what I'm doing, I'm collecting all the data, giving it to the computer. Now these data are transforming from image to the digital data, image to the numerical data. That means in this form. Okay, in this form we are converting all images into the numerical data in the form of Excel sheet. Okay, after that uh, we are model our all the data set by using ANN or something, and we are getting the output. So when you are doing for multi-label data set, your confusion matrix will be created in this form. That means it will start from, before that we have matrix of 2 cross 2, right? Why? Because we have only 0 or 1 output. So 0 1 0 1, and we have just this 2 cross 2 matrices, right? But in the case of multi-label, how, like if you have a 9 number of output you want it, then you will have a 9 cross 9 number of confusion matrix. That means what? You have a possibility. If it is 0, then 0. If it is 0 and classified as a 1, 0 classified as a 2, 0 as a classified 3, and so on. And accordingly, you will have whole confusion matrix. Now, is it clear for you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Okay, anything else from your side? Or now we can go for the one more break, a lunch break, and then we will meet it again. Kaushal sir, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Again,
Thank you.
such a
Okay.
wonderful session.
Thank you.
So, participant, we will meet after exactly after 1 hour. So, 2:25 we will meet. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.